All right, today we're going to be learning the volume of a pyramid. I'm going to do 15 and 16 today because if I do 15, all the odd ones, you're going to learn how to do the area of a triangular base pyramid, but you won't know how to do the area of a square base pyramid, which you will need to know. The formula for both of these is big B, which means the area of my base, times the height of my pyramid, and I'm going to divide it by 3. Well, if I do this, I have to remember what the base of a triangle, or what the base is of my pyramid, and that's a triangle, as you can see here. There's a right triangle, because it has a little box there, which means the formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So I'm going to turn this into base times height. I'm going to divide it by 2. And that's for my triangle now. And now I have to remember that I'm still multiplying it to h. And that's the height of my pyramid. Okay? And then I'm going to divide everything by 3. Now, I could look at this formula and realize I'm going to divide by 2 and I'm going to divide by 3. So, in essence, I could remake the formula to say the width times the length of my pyramid times the height of my pyramid is going to be divided by 6. And I leave that formula there so I can go ahead and show you later on how it would work. But this would only work if my pyramid had a triangular base. So I'm going to stick to my original formula here because this is for all pyramids, big B times h divided by 3. If I did this, my base times my height, well, that would be 3 times 10. So I would have 3 times 10 divided by 2. I'd be multiplying it to my height, which is 12. And I would divide all that by 3. I could say 3 times 10 is 30, and divided by 2, well, that's going to give me 15. So now I have 15 times 12 divided by 3. Well, 15 times 12, I'll use my trusty calculator for that. 15 times 12, that equals 180. So now I have 180 divided by 3. And 180 divided by 3 is 60. So that means the area of this pyramid is 60. Let's see if the formula that I told you we could use for a triangular base pyramid would work. Length times width times height, well, that would be 3 times 10 times 12. And I could divide all this by 6. Well, I could say, well, I see 6 and 12 here, so I could just scratch out the 6, put a 1, take the 12 out and put a 2, right? Because 6 goes into 12 2 times. And now I have 3 times 10 times 12. Well, times 2. 3 times 10 is 30, and 30 times 2 is 60. And since I have a 1 at the bottom, that's 60 over 1, and look at that. That is 60. Okay? So I would encourage everyone to follow the formula here, okay? But when you do, realize when you have two numbers that you're dividing, you can combine those numbers at the bottom. Since you're multiplying everything at the top and dividing everything at the bottom, you can create a simpler formula to follow if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and do number 16 now. Once again, for a pyramid, it's big B times h. Divided by 3. Big B being the base of my pyramid. This time the base is a square though. And the formula for a square is not base times height divided by 2. It's simply length times width. So this would be length times width, and then I would multiply it times my height, and I would divide it by 3. And this simply gives me the formula because I'm just simply multiplying length times width times height divided by 3. You might notice length times width times height divided by 6. When I do a triangular-based pyramid, I would divide by 6. When I'm doing a square-based pyramid, I would divide by 3. But that's all using the formula big B times h, the height. In other words, the base of whatever my pyramid is, what the formula is for the shape of my base, times the height divided by 3. If I do this, I see that I have 6 1/2. I'm going to have to multiply that to 4. I'm going to have to multiply that to 5. And then I'm going to divide all that by 3. That's simply it. Let's see. Well, 6 1/2 is really 6.5. Times 4 times 5 divided by 3. And I can use my calculator to solve that top. See, 6.5 times 4 times 5 is going to equal 130. 130 divided by 3. Well, 130 divided by 3. Oh, let's try that again. 130 divided by 3 gives me 43.33, or 0.3, repeating, excuse me, 43.3 repeating. I said rounded to the nearest tenth. So if I know I'm going to get 3, the nearest tenth would just be 3. So my answer really should just be 43.3. And let's see, that should give you what you need to solve 17 and 18. I usually do just the odd ones, but like I said, if I'd have done that, you would have 2 examples of how to do a triangular-based pyramid and none of how to do a square-based pyramid. So let's go to number 19 now. This time it tries to get tricky. It wants us to get the height this time. So it gives us the volume. We're going to follow the same formula. Okay, and the formula was that we have base, big base, right, times height, and we're going to divide it by 3. And that's going to give us the volume. So the volume is 297. So the base, it says the area of the base is 81. So if I replace B with 81, I have 81 times H divided by 3, and that has to give me my volume, and that has to equal 297. If I do this, I see that 81 divided by 3, well, I'll put that in my calculator, even though I figured that out in my head already. 81 divided by 3 is going to give me 27. So we got 27 times H is going to equal 297. When we know how to get 27 away from H, we divide it away. And now we're going to go ahead and whatever I divide from one side of the equal sign, I have to divide from the other. And now that I've divided away 27, I just have H left. And 297 divided by 27, well, 297 divided by 27 equals 11. So my answer is 11. The height of my pyramid is 11. All right, let's do number 21 really quick. We're going to follow the same one. Base times height divided by 3 equals volume. Once again, we're dealing with a square base pyramid, and they told us what the base is. So once again, we got 75 divided by 3, And 75 is going to be multiplied to h, the height, right? And that's going to equal 550. If I divide 75 by 3, well, no calculator needed there. It's going to be 25 times h. And that's going to equal 550. Now I divide 25 away from 25h. And whatever I divide from one side, I have to divide from the other. That means the height of my pyramid is 550 divided by 25. 550 divided by 25 is 22. So the height of this pyramid is 22. Last one. An ancient stone pyramid has a height of 13.6. The edges of the square base, well, that tells me it was a square base pyramid, right? Okay, and the height of this pyramid is 16. Oh, I'm sorry. The height is 13.6. 13.6. And it says, since it's a square, I know all my sides are going to be 16.5. It says find the volume. So once again, we use our formula. Base times, big base times height divided by 3. The base is, since it's a square, the area, the formula for the area of a square is base or length times width. So we can say that's going to be 16.5 times 16.5. And we're going to have to multiply that to my height, and my height is 13.6. And we have to divide all that by 3. Okay, so let's just go ahead and work that out. We've got 16 times, I'm sorry, 16.5, let's correct that. 16.5 times 16.5 times 13.6. That's going to give us 3,702.6. 3,702.6. 3,702.6. And we're going to have to divide all that by 3 to get our answer. Remember, this equals the volume. If we take that answer that we had and divide it by 3, we realize the answer must be 1,234.2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of nice how that worked out in 0.2. And since we're talking about meters, we're doing meters cubed. That's something that I guess I should have stressed throughout here, since this one was inches, and this would be inches because we were just finding the height. We were not finding the volume there. This one was feet, so it should have been feet. I apologize for forgetting my units. And over here, this was inches, so this would have been, let's see, 43.3 inches cubed. Remember to write cube because we're talking about three-dimensional object. This would have been 60 inches cubed. All right, and that is it for tonight. Hope that helped you out, and I'll see you in class.